What is good, guys? Welcome to episode 37 of the Art Meets Culture podcast. I am your host, Ade Sanusi, aka Sanusi the First on Instagram, aka ADE, Art Dealer Entrepreneur. Shouts to Didi for landing that one on me. He gave me that name a while back when I first started, my art journey. He's my mentor in art. I go to him for everything in terms of advice, direction, and everything. So he was like, ADE, Art Dealer Entrepreneur. So shout outs to him. So speaking of shouting outs to him, rather, he's dropped a book, Ugly Dogs Don't Cry. All right, listen, I say get that book. That book is beautiful. Pissed me off at the end, but he knows why. But yeah, it features, an up-and-coming artist, an up-and-coming rapper, and they go through their journey, being in London and everything like that. Girls, gangs, the whole shebang. But it's beautiful. So it's an incredible book. So Ugly Dogs Don't Cry. That's an amazing book. So be sure to get that. What else is on the agenda? My interview with Greg, Design for the People podcast. That episode is great. There was a guy who has 100 plays. I was like, we need to get to 100 plays. On his YouTube channel. So we're almost there. We're on 96, and I'm quite excited. That we're going to pass on the plays. The numbers don't mean nothing, but the impact does. I want that energy to be on this. Just showcasing your support. But yeah, we're almost there, and I feel like, 100 people listen to it. I find the number 100 quite interesting. So yeah, be sure to check that out. That's on our page, still on our Instagram. So you can check that out, have a look at it, where I talk, about a little bit about the history of art meets culture, fan base building, and all sorts. Okay, I said all sorts. Yeah, all sorts. So Monday coming, we're going to be doing the art review live. Yes, the art review live. So you can send in your links to your artwork, and I'll just be on Instagram on the live, as well as, getting your links through my DMs and everything like that. So if you've emailed me something, that's a bonus. But yeah, I'll be going through the artwork, doing you guys a shout, talking about your techniques and asking you questions as well at the same time. So yeah, that's going to be very fun. It is something different from the art review. I will be going back to it. I've just literally been working on the back end with some other stuff, get those things in play. I'm a man who's self-sufficient. I do a lot of this stuff by myself. Eventually I will be looking for a team, but I'm balancing things out accordingly. But it's beautiful, man. I love the journey, and I love the support behind that as well. Today we got an incredible guest, hailing from LA, Mariella, Angela, a great artist that I've been following for years. She's just amazingly talented. I know there's fans of her who listen to this podcast. I see our mutual friends on there, and I just see the people showcasing love to her. This interview, although I'm gonna say it now, she's nervous to hear it. So Mariella, don't worry, this is a great episode. She's nervous to hear it, but I tell you this is a powerful episode. And when I'm talking to artists on the podcast, I always feel a sense of empowerment, through it, their bravery through it, for whatever struggles they've been with. And it's incredible to hear. Sometimes I forget that I'm actually in the podcast doing the interview. I kind of listen to it like I'm listening to the podcast. But I'm always grateful, that they pick this platform to share that energy, their journeys, their struggles, their bravery, and their fearless attitudes towards making their dreams a reality. So I say that as clear as possible, just to let Mariella know, the people know, that you're about to listen to one of the best episodes on our platform. But before we get into that, we're going to be going through some housekeeping. Before that, see, I got so many things in my mind. This is why we do things from the top. So I did say on my Instagram I was giving away a course book, which was exciting. However, Amazon has decided to say, oh, you need to return the book back considering we replaced it already. However, I'm still gonna give that book away somehow, some way. So there will we'll either just order it for you and send it to your crib, or however you want to do it, or we'll give you the voucher to get where you want. So we're gonna do something nice. So I'll be working on that as of next week during the art review live. I'll say the same thing again as well. So as much as I've got the book here, and I've got 2 of them, and I really wanted to keep them both. I can't, and I don't want to get in trouble because you know how these people get. But that's all good. That's all good. Yeah. So without further ado, we'll go through all the housekeeping. Was it housekeeping? Did they say housekeeping before or housekeeping after? I'm not too sure. I need to listen to a couple podcasts to see how they do it, how they land it. But yeah, follow us on Instagram. You know, Art Meets Culture. Be sure to follow us on Twitter, A Meets Culture, YouTube, Art Meets Culture. To listen to us, please listen to us on SoundCloud. We're on Deezer now, which I just registered last week. We're on Deezer. I'm trying to get into more platforms, trying to figure out how to get onto Tidal. So if anybody knows anybody on Tidal, be sure to let us know so we can land there and be a part of something special. Also, we are on iTunes. I did mention Spotify. SoundCloud as well. So all of the above that I just mentioned. So be sure to follow us on all and be a part of this movement, be a part of this brand. I tell you this for free. I'm very passionate about Art Meets Culture, and I don't get to speak like this often. You know, the reason why I'm passionate is because I love what artists bring to the table. I wish I was an artist myself, but I'm not. My skills are in social media, management, branding, marketing. So when I meet artists, there's always a thought of helping them with my platform. So I have a passion for helping people, and that will not stop. So although we cannot do events this year, it doesn't matter. We were always going to grow beyond events. And if we don't do any events anytime soon, the special thought is to continue consistently still help and to do it in a way where nobody's doing it at all. You know, and I want you guys to understand, artists who are listening, I'm here to support you, and I'm here to give you the energy that you need to make it in your career. So you've got my support. I'm going to make sure I do more content for you guys. I'm going to make sure, you know, I educate the people in terms of who you are. You know, we have platforms like Hypebeast, we have Complex, but you know, Grime Daily, World Star Hip Hop, or wherever you are in your coolest blogs, and it's always fashion music, you know, some fashion music and, you know, a few art stuff, but you know, I'm driving forward to make sure this is something. So I'm working very hard behind the scenes, in front of the scenes, to make sure all of this happens, you know what I mean? Because I love all you guys, man, and I just say that from the heart, man. All you guys have done sick jobs, you know, from being on the podcast, you know, from even the people who started off with me on my first shows, you know, shout out to all you guys. And I'm going to run through my head. Actually, I don't have the flyer, but, you know, from people who I can remember off the top of my head, you know, Batul, Carlene D'Souza, Kobe Martin, I can't see, it's flagged out in my head, but all the artists who started off with me, do you know what I mean? Those are like the first artists, and all the music artists, all the hosts, all the photographers, Tori KBD, who's been our official photographer, you know, throughout all the shows, you know, but special shout out to her. I don't mention people a lot on this podcast that, you know, help with the brand, you know, because we're so stuck and in thought of what we want to be, do you know what I mean? But, you know, I've become more appreciative today in terms of, wow, we've literally come a long way. It's 7 years of Art Meets Culture, 7 good years. And what I love about the brand is we didn't stop throughout anything. No matter what struggle, no matter what pandemic, we fought our way through it. And I just say this to say that if you're going for anything tough, fight your way through it, learn how you can make it better. Because trust me, good things and great things are going to happen. But that's my passionate rant for now. Anyway, if you want to, you know, hear me passionately rant sometimes or put some jokes online, be sure to follow me on Sanusi the First on Instagram. But listen, it's Mariella on Instagram. Follow her too. Mariella Angela. Dope human. You know what I mean? Dope human. like phenomenal human. You know, I'm giving her all this energy because of how we spoke on the podcast, and also how we spoke offline of it as well. Do you know what I mean? Passionate. And definitely when our platform lands stateside, soon, I don't want to say the year, I don't want to say the date, but I'll be talking. We're definitely going to link up and do a phenomenal show out there. But yeah, that's it. I feel like I should say more, but I'm going to pause and just let you guys get into the podcast. So this is Mariella Angela. She's an artist who definitely puts her money where her art is. She's investing in herself, investing in her spirit, investing in her mind. And it's not when I say that statement, it's a statement just to say, put your money. So whatever money is to you, or whatever the currency is, you invest in yourself, where your art is, your craft, you. So I'm gonna make some t-shirts about that. So that's coming. Ooh, that's coming. I just thinking about the designs, designs. But yeah, all of that's coming. The merch will return, do you know what I mean? So I want to salute everybody on that. But yeah, so without further ado, let's get into it. Oh, good. Thank you so much for coming on. I appreciate it highly.
No, thank you so much for having me, and obviously for supporting me for so long. I know it's been years now, right?
Yeah, because I was supposed to get you on last year during the start of our podcast, but we just had a full-blown conversation, and I was just like, when you're ready, we'll make it happen. And then I think the more I saw your artwork, I was like, no, we need to have a conversation. I need to talk to her and hear more about what she's doing.
Did I ghost on you? Because I tend to do that.
Oh no, you know what? I think you know what it is. I think you were saying you were just taking time out, and I was just like, you know what? I respect it. So it makes sense.
I'm glad you understand that, because I mean, some people are kind of take time out. Well, okay, take I'm just like, all right, I was saying it not because I felt like I didn't want to do it. I was saying it because I know as a creative, you're not going to get the content you want.
Yeah.
I want to give you the best of me, So it's if I'm not there, it's
No, that's fully understandable, and definitely a lot of, creatives understand that. But even I see a lot of, our followers who follow you, they're massive fans of you because they share your work on their Instagram. So it's amazing to see. So for me, I'm excited to let them listen to you and hear your story. So it should be exciting.
Yes.
So I start with the amazing question, who are you, where you're from, and why art?
Okay. I feel it changes all the time. This question, it's funny how your answer always changes as years goes by.
Yeah.
I am Mariella Angela. I'm from Norwalk, California, but I always just say Los Angeles because I hate claiming my city. I've been painting for about 2012. Been painting for about 7-8 years now. That's crazy. I'm self-taught.
Wow.
Yeah, I started painting when I was 19. It was this whole thing where, I was obsessed with Tyler the Creator, and I was such a Big Odd Future fan, and his birthday, which is coming up too. It's you ask yourself, what do you give someone that has everything or could buy anything?
Yeah.
So I was like, okay, maybe I'll make him a cake, and maybe I'll paint him something. And that was my first portrait. When I gave it to him, he was kind of like, dude, this is hard. He was like, this is hard.
I can imagine him saying that, dude, his raspy voice.
He's like, is this oil paint? And I go, I think so. Because I didn't know the difference between oil paint, acrylic paint, watercolor. It's just paint,
Yeah.
And he was like, this shit's actually hard to do. And he was like, you have a natural talent. He's like, you should stick with it. And I'm here just kind of starstruck. He could have told me to jump off a bridge and I would have done it. I was just like, okay.
he has a strong following, and it's insane. I remember Years ago, I think it was like the start of his career. What was the video when he ate the cockroach?
Oh,
Um,
Yonkers.
yeah, Yonkers, and he came to London, and my friend was like, "You need to come see this guy, Tyler the Craze, playing live, playing live." So we went to like a private party, and I think it was Hodgie Beats was jumping in and swinging on everybody, and he hit one of my friends, and then it went a bit mad. So I definitely, love the energy that he's brought, and he's inspired a lot of people, to create that amazing following.
He has. I know, like, as from then and like years ago, like I would always say this story as like I say this story as if like, okay, oh my God, he believed in me. He saw
Mm,
my potential. He like saw something in me that no one else saw. So I thought I was special. But then I think about it now that I'm in the position I'm at, and what he really was doing was like, like let's be real, that painting probably wasn't shit. Or am I
it
am
was
I allowed
good.
to
It was
am I
good.
allowed to cuss? Am I allowed to
Yeah, yeah.
cuss?
No, listen, cuss all you want. It's totally fine. Go for it.
But it's like it wasn't anything to really like be gassed over, but he, you what do you lose by motivating someone? Like he didn't have to like go out of his way and be like, this is amazing, you should really pursue this, like encourage me.
Yeah,
He didn't really have to do that, and what I was showing him didn't really show any real potential as to be like a big oil painter. And it was just, he really took his time out just to like, he was very positive to his fans. He wanted to encourage his fans to do just encourage your fans to do something.
yeah.
And from that, like, it really took me about a year because I was just painting for like shits and giggles. It was a hobby. I didn't really like it that much, but I was doing it.
Mm.
And it was after a year where I was sitting down and I was like, holy fuck, I'm in love with painting. Like, I don't know when it happened. I just know I got to this point and I was like, this is everything to me. This is my happy, this is my sad, this is my calm, this is
Yeah.
my, and I would have never gotten to that place if he had never said anything. And I'm just so grateful that, like, not grateful like you knew my career before I did. It was just,
Yeah.
he gave me a different point of view of thing. He gave me a lane to follow that wasn't in my cards. And I don't think he realizes how much of an impact that made in my entire life. Like,
Nah, that's beautiful, man, because it so I mean, sometimes you never know what you're supposed to be. Some people, they're fortunate to know from the off that, yeah, I want to be a basketball player or a football player, but you just did something organically, and he just said, yo, why aren't you pursuing this? This is you. Like, I see this, I see your future. And I think that was beautiful of him to, see that within you. Was it the 6 foot canvas you did of it as well?
oh my God, no, it was I will send you a picture. I'll try to send it to you right now while we're
Hmm.
talking. It's literally a like 8 by 11 inch panel.
Okay.
It's like it's, like it's just funny to look back on where it's really like this really little fan art thing, kind of like maybe like a high schooler did it. Well, I was only 19, so I guess it
Mm.
was like fresh out of high school, but it wasn't anything that you would like pin on the fridge, or something you would pin on the fridge but not really hang up on the wall
Mm.
type thing. Not I don't want it to sound like I'm putting myself down or being one of those people. It's just once you see it, you'll understand.
So essentially, what I'm seeing, like now, even looking at your current works, it's just improved since then.
No, all my current work that I post are original work. It's the
Mm.
actual painting. It's just the merch we sell.
Okay. No, no, I really love it because I definitely wanted to, like, dive in into your technique, because you've got like probably one of the most distinctive styles that I've seen. It's like when I see it from the colors and the tones, I'm just like, yeah, that's her. I mean, you'll know that. I'm seeing the Tyler piece now. So yeah. So he knew from then that what the talent was. That's amazing. That's literally amazing. So how would you describe your style overall?
Um, because I didn't go to arts, I don't really know all the technical terms, but I would say it's painterly, I know my brushstrokes, which is funny because when I started painting, my entire life goal was to just be hyper realistic. I was like, I want to paint a painting and I want it to look exactly like I'm shit. And it really took like a long time where I was just irritated with like my brushstrokes. I'm like, why is it like this? And it took me a while to realize I'm like, no, I think this is my painting style. Like, because I was painting for myself for a
Yeah.
really long time. And it was just me trying to improve or trying to teach myself. And then I would look back and like they would just all feel like it just looked like home, like when they're all together. And I was like, oh, this is the brushstrokes and like the thickness and
Mm.
like the random pops of color. Cause like I don't know, I don't think when I paint, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
I just kind of just let it go and then I zone out and then next thing I know it's done.
No, that's
I
amazing.
wish I knew what I was doing because that
No,
would make
it's because
bank.
like it's like even when I see your work, it's just like it's amazing that you're telling me that you just paint how you feel and paint what you do. It's very spiritual in a sense because some people take their time to study every technique, every brushstroke. Do you know what I mean? So there was no like YouTube video involved or anything like that. It
Mm-mm.
was just straight. What I'm just gonna paint what I feel today.
Yeah.
Now that's wicked.
It I know myself and it's like I don't handle instruction or criticism well. I
Okay.
zone rebelling against. I just like zone out and I don't listen, and it's just time. It's just I just but it does kind of get annoying because it's just a lot of paintings where I'll start it and I'm like, I think I know how to do this because I've done a painting like this. This should be easy, and then it's like
Mm.
completely like shit.
Yeah.
So I just kind of like, not to sound like cliche or like what every artist really says, but it really is like your mood and
Yeah.
emotions. And it's just like, no, like being like in tune with yourself and knowing how you feel and when you feel it and when it's time to paint, when it's time to walk away,
Mm.
when it's time to like,
No, I love that. Do you know, I mean, you've produced over like 400 paintings over the past 5 years, which I've read, and I'm just like 400. Do you know what I mean? And you done an exhibition as well. How was that?
they've been great. I mean, all my shows have been um kind of do it yourself, like self-funded, no sponsors.
Mm.
My first show is so funny. I didn't realize I remember I was 20 years old. I was turning 21. And it was so my birthday's in April and then like March I was like, "Oh my god, I'm going to have a 21st art show. That's going to be my first art show."
Sick.
So, here I am. I miss school and I'm calling literally the biggest galleries in LA. And I'm like, "Hi, I'd like to rent out your space for a day." And they're like, okay, we do private events. What day are you looking for? And I'm like, in like 3 weeks from now.
Mm.
And my budget is like $1,000.
Mm.
I've never been laughed at and hung up on more
Wow.
times in my life. I was so pissed off, but looking back at it now, I was just like, no, I sounded so stupid. Like, I don't understand
Mhm.
why I thought that was tangible.
Yeah.
Um, but we ended up finding a place in like in Miracle Mile, like in Melrose, Fairfax area.
Yeah.
And it was an empty space under a gallery that was under construction. There was no power. I couldn't even do a walkthrough till the day of the show.
Wow.
So I was just looking through the window and I was just like, "Mom, this is it. Like, this is my show." My
Mm.
mom's like, "You're crazy." And I'm like, "No, no, no, no. Like, this is my show." So we paid $1,000. And I was like, you know what? They think by then there was only like 24 days left
Okay.
till like the day. And I was like, I'm going to paint 21 portraits for my 21st birthday. And I
Wow.
was like,
And was this just
and
fresh? You hadn't painted anything just yet.
no, I had a bunch of other paintings from like 2014,
Hmm.
but I wanted to like I wanted to do a series. Like I wanted to be uniform, like they all go together.
Yeah.
And you have to understand, like I was going to school at the time and I was taking 18 units. And like, oh my God, I don't understand because I remember still going to school during this time. I wasn't ditching. I would like go to school, come home, paint, do my homework, go to sleep, then go to school. Sometimes I would like I drove a Honda Fit. Sometimes I would like drive inside. I would paint inside my car,
Okay.
like the back seat. But yeah, that was like my first show, and like I don't know, it was just after that day, like I just realized I was like, wow, like this is what I want to do for the rest of my life. Like,
No, that's amazing. And you know, I'm just even looking at that show. That's one show I wish I was at, just to kind of see these pieces in person, because you put a lot of great work into it. Do you know what I mean? And I'm a massive fan. You also, you know, put you know, your artwork into different products like the rug, which I need to double check. Is that still available online?
some might be, but we're trying to phase it out.
Okay.
But I got you. I got you.
Good.
You
I,
know, we'll
I I
do.
need a rug because I see them, and I think it was during the pandemic time, and I'm just like, "Ah, I need to save more money, but I really want one. Do you know what I mean? You know, I definitely want to get one for the house because it is. I always admire artists who take it beyond the canvas. You know, some people put it on clothes, but like, I think stuff like rugs, puzzles. I'm just like, yo, these are stuff that you just want to in a beautiful office somewhere. So, you know, what made you, you know, want to expand beyond the canvas?
um, I never, I never, it never really like, it wasn't a plan. I've always hated shirts, and I like fought everyone for the longest time where they're like, you have to make shirts. And I was like, I don't want shirts. I think it's gross. Like, it took me years. And like, even then I was like, okay, you guys just handle it. Don't put me in it. Like, just here's the work. You guys do what you got to do.
Yeah.
Um, the puzzles actually, like I think a lot of people thought we were doing the puzzles because of the pandemic, but I actually wanted to do puzzles the year before that during
Mhm.
Black Friday.
Yeah.
So like I was like, no, puzzles are gonna be the biggest thing. I was like, I want to do puzzles, and I was like, people can frame them, and it'll be like a poster, and it's
Yep.
like I like had this whole idea that you guys assembling the puzzle would be like the same process of me painting the puzzle,
Hmm.
which was totally wrong because I suck at puzzles. And like we ordered the sample puzzle, and I was like, okay, if I can't finish this puzzle, we're not gonna sell this
Yeah.
because fuck that shit. Like, and I could not finish the puzzle. It was like 500 pieces. So then, um, maybe like 4 months passed by, and I was like, they were talking about puzzles. I was like, maybe we should do the puzzles. I was like, let me see how the 200 something piece like thing works out, and if it works out, let's drop puzzles.
Yeah.
And then yeah, it took like maybe like an hour and a half, 2 hours to finish like an Aaliyah puzzle, and I was like, we're okay, let's sell puzzles. And
Mm.
I honestly I ordered less than 10 puzzles. I was like, at the most, 4 are gonna sell. Like, I was just like, no, I know my people. Like, they're gonna buy like 4 puzzles. Like, it's cool, and like I was happy about that.
Mm.
But after we posted it, it kind of just blew up. Like, everyone was buying puzzles. Like, I really don't know if people love, because the way people were talking about it was they love puzzles and they're like, oh my God, da, da, da. But I was like, no, it has to be because of the pandemic. Like,
Even before the pandemic, it's like these are the sort of things you know. It's like you got Supreme, and they have their random bits like a brick or a cup. It's just
mm-hmm.
these things you just want in a home, and these are almost like bragging spots where it's like, yeah, I got a puzzle. It's from this artist. You know, yeah, I got a rug. Do you know what I mean? It just makes the home look more interesting.
That's crazy. Do you know the website Grailed?
Yeah.
I was googling my name one day, and like there was a Grailed, like someone was selling the Frank Ocean puzzle ungrailed, and it sold, and
Wow.
I was like, what the heck? I was like, this is what it's become. I'm like, they're still available on the
No,
website.
how much did they resell it for?
They sold it for a profit.
Oh
I
wow.
was I was like, bro, like what?
It's how did that make you feel? Because I have a friend, he has a vinyl toy out, like he put one out and then it sold out, but then he saw his stuff on StockX looking to be resold and he was just like, wow, someone's reselling my stuff already.
That's crazy. Yeah, that's what's it called? Your friend Pavin.
Yeah, man. No,
I
that's
like
good.
that hasn't happened to me. Yeah, but I did like, I wrote my first book back in 2019.
Yeah, which I want to talk
And
about as well. Like that book, another thing I need to get that I missed out on. That's another one.
don't worry. You missed out on a lot of typos.
Listen, I'm gonna yeah, we're gonna definitely talk because I just got one a cause book the other day, and I'm like, nah, I still need that book, I need that book because it just I love visuals and I just love the work that you put into that book.
No, yeah, that book was like it was a book that needed to be done because originally we started working on it 2017, and it kind of it's embarrassing that we had pre-orders, we had a book release party in 2017, and we didn't have the book.
Hmm.
So it was just kind of this whole like subject that we wouldn't talk about, and then 2019 I found, I've always had problems with anxiety and depression, and
Mhm.
I have intentionally overdosed a few times over the few years, and it was a real big struggle for me.
Mm.
um and into March 2019 I found out that I had been misdiagnosed for years, and I was actually bipolar
Wow.
type 1.
Wow.
And that kind of was like, it made sense, like it made sense, but then it was like, why didn't I know this?
Mhm.
So I kind of, it's kind of weird to say you had to recover from it when it's like, okay, but you were like this the whole time. But really did have to just get off Instagram. I had to recover, and I just had a lot of questions about, was I painting because of my mental illness?
Yeah.
Did my mental illness lead me to here, or was I painting for myself? Like, is my creativity just a product of mania?
Mm.
Or like, there was a lot of questions that just kind of like made me question who I was as a person.
Wow.
So the whole book, like, the book, I wrote it when we did it. I didn't have anyone reread it. Didn't like, I was just typing thoughts on like the spot
Mm.
and kind of like writing about certain things that happened during certain times. Because when you know the story, you
Mm.
start to see the paintings differently.
Okay.
And you start to see that's why this is like this, and that's why the style changed here. And it kind of brought more insight to like the paintings and the painting styles and the painting subjects. And
Yeah.
so it was just a book that needed to be written, part of my recovery, just so I can move on.
Mm.
Because in my head I was like, once I write this down, I never have to look back and I never have to talk about it again.
Yeah.
Which I was wrong, because it's like my everyday life and it's gonna be like this forever.
Mm.
But we're currently working on a deluxe version.
Yep. So I've been seeing. So listen, I'll be there first one in the pre-order line. I tell you that for free.
Don't worry, I'm gonna save you one.
Amazing. I appreciate that.
You have my word.
No worries. I mean, you talk about, this depression and anxiety and everything like that. And like, I'm happy that, with the guests that I have on, that they openly talk about it and also give some advice to it. You know what I mean? I mean, talk about your time with it and, how you, found your way through depression and anxiety through art. Like, how have you developed from it?
Um, it's kind of like a tough question, because my how I think about it constantly changes.
Mhm.
For a long time, I credited, like, this was like a totally wrong. Like, I have to make a disclaimer, like, do not think this is real. But for a long time, I thought I had to be depressed to produce great paintings.
Okay.
So I was refusing to let myself be happy. I wanted to put my art first. and that wasn't right. Then when I got diagnosed, it was like, no, I'm not going to take medication because all my creativity is going to be gone. Like, what are you talking about?
Mm.
Like, I'd rather struggle and have the paintings that I do versus lose everything that am living for, you know?
Yeah.
And I think that specifically is like what a lot of artists think, and what they're very hesitant to like even try the meds. Uh, I will say, in the beginning of my diagnosis, I was put on lithium, like a large amount of lithium. And let me tell you, it was the clearest I've ever thought, the most creative I've ever thought, the best I've ever felt in my life. I wanted to paint 24/7. The paintings were coming out great. It was the best thing that ever happened in my life.
Wow.
But then, like it was like toxic to me, and I was like getting sick every day, and I was throwing up, and it does a toll to your body, and I had to get off it.
Yeah.
And it's just like, it's weird to have experienced that clarity for once.
Mm.
I think a lot of people think artists is because they're so eccentric and so like like they're so manic and like they're all over the place and and I was like, no, like I felt so calm, so clear. And I think at that point it was just like, no, I really needed help and I should have gotten help a long time ago.
Yeah.
But I used to think, okay, art saved my life, art's my therapy, and I think I'm getting to a point where it's just like, not that I want to separate the two, but just acknowledge that they're just both part of me, that they just both happen to be part of who I am. But
Yeah.
I'm not a painter because I'm bipolar. I'm not bipolar because I'm a painter.
Mm. Oh, that's that. I was listening to that thinking it sounds very amazing, and I realized, you know what, you're actually doing an interview here. This is not you listening to the podcast, but I enjoyed, hearing that. Definitely it will help a lot of people listening. Do you know what I mean? Because I know a few people who have gone through that, and they're going through their journeys early, but hearing stuff like this, enables them to see, the light essentially.
It's weird because like I'm not super open about it. I bring it up here and there. When I have my episodes, unfortunately, they do end up somehow being on Instagram.
Mm.
But I thought, okay, it's time to handle yourself professional and just like leave that in your personal life. This is your business life.
Mm.
But then I started to realize like I was getting a lot of messages from like people telling me their specific stories and like thanking me, like, because it's not something that I'm putting out there intentionally. Like, I wish I was one of those people who were like, I'm doing this so I can help other people, but I'm not gonna claim that because that's not what I'm doing. I was just doing it because it just happened.
Yeah.
And it's just so hard to be so vulnerable online, especially like after being, because I was very, very vulnerable before. Like I didn't realize I was, because I was kind of going through like a really bad, this is like before I was diagnosed.
Yeah.
So there's a lot of like shame, and it's like, okay, now that I'm on medication, like I can't control what I can say. Let me just not put it out there. But then, people are messaging me and they're like, thank you so much, because like first they're probably going through it, but they're afraid to like acknowledge it.
Mm.
They're afraid to go to their parents. They're afraid it's like taboo. Other people are dealing with friendships and they're seeing the signs in their friends. And, it's been, a lot of people like to think that they have to be so hands-on with it and like, no, it's your way of thinking. You need to do yoga, like da-da-da-da and da-da-da. And it's like sometimes when someone's really going through it, like you just need to kind of listen.
Yeah.
Like let's be real, like none of us are psychiatrists, and we need to stop giving that like psychiatrist advice. Just listen, let them talk, let them be calm, let them feel that they can trust you.
Yeah.
Because when someone doesn't feel that connection, they don't feel like they can trust someone, God forbid, they end up being in a place where they're like, there's nothing else for me, there's nothing to do for me, there's nothing I can do. And it's just like so many things could have been done to prevent it. Um, it's just like, I think sharing my story and how I handle it or what I'm going through kind of puts it into perspective for people without feeling they're getting the lecture like, you should know about mental illness because stigma and da da da. I think it's just really empathizing and hearing people's stories.
Yeah. No, and that's definitely, something I'm an advocate for, just hearing it out first. Do you know what I mean? You know, we all have opinions, but most opinions are not even right. But when you start hearing the person's story and what they've gone through, you then end up just being like, let me just, whatever you need, I got you. Do you know what I mean? You end up saying like that rather than you need to do this, you need to do that. If you don't do this, this and this and that, you kind of you add the anxiety to them. Do you know what I mean? Instead of just supporting them through it day by day. So, I appreciate you even, sharing parts of that, from your story.
Because everyone's different, and I'm always like hesitant to give advice because, a lot of people, they will follow it and they won't get that result. And then in their mind, it's like, holy fuck, is it me? Am I the problem? It's like, no, not everyone is the same. Just because something worked for me doesn't mean it works for you. But it doesn't mean you need to stop trying. It doesn't mean that you need to stop seeking for help. It doesn't mean that you have to figure it out yourself.
Yeah.
And it's a journey that everyone has to take themselves, but you don't have to take it alone. It takes a community.
Oh, 1,000%.
And it's like, even the isolated have communities that they don't realize that is actually just isolated, and you can be isolated together. Like, come on.
Exactly. Do you know what I mean? Like, you mentioned, people coming to your DMs and having conversations with you. Like, you've built like a strong following. Like, what do all these followers, I don't even like to call them followers, you can tell me what you call them because it sounds very pretentious, but people who support you, like how does that,
I call them family. Like,
beautiful. How have they supported you and encouraged you, and and what sort of energy are they giving you these days?
so I call them family, and like I'm so thankful. Like, I have a hard time explaining to them like the impact they make in my life, and I'm so blessed because I already know they know what I'm trying to say and I'm trying to articulate, and they just tell me it's okay, like, don't say it, I know. It's like, it really hit me. It was like a few weeks ago or maybe a month ago, just randomly, someone who had been following me for like 2015, like, they've seen the journey, and they told me it was a different kind of appreciation to see me, like, my success. It's like a different kind of like appreciation, and they said, I want to thank you for like I'm gonna cry. They were like, I want to thank you for being strong enough not to leave us.
Powerful.
And it's like, it's weird because, like, you automatically think about your immediate family and friends and how they would be affected, and then it's like, you don't, like, I do realize, like, I have to constantly remind myself that there's a handful of people that I've never met that I probably don't remember their name, but like, they would be fucking devastated. And I don't, like, it's just a domino thing, and I'm like, I didn't realize it was that. Like, I didn't realize it was that. I didn't think I really make an impact in someone's life like that for them to think twice about it, but to thank me, go out of their way and thank me for having the courage to just keep going.
Yeah. Nah, that's powerful, man. And it's always amazing, not in an egotistical sense, but it's just always good, that people get to say thank you. Do you know what I mean? Because I don't think people do that enough for people that they follow. Do you know what I mean? And sometimes you don't know what you're doing to someone's life. And one of my friends, Kobe Martin, who's an artist from London, born in Ghana. He said something to me. He's just like Ade, keep doing what you're doing, because people's destinies are handcuffed to yours. And I was thinking, what do you mean handcuffed to mine? It sounds a bit kinky. And then he was just like, like what you do is inspiring someone to just keep going. Do you know what I mean? Because if he said if you stop, that person's probably gonna stop their dream. Do you know what I mean? And I didn't really think about it that way. So like every day now, it's like I consciously think I got to do a post today. At least post, support someone. The podcast today has to be amazing. Do you know what I mean? I want to make sure I get some great questions, great answers, because we're probably going to inspire someone we haven't even met right now. And then probably in 5 years down the line, someone's going to listen to this episode and say, thank you again. You know what I mean? And it's like, you listen to episode 36 of the podcast or whatever number we're going to be on for this one, and change my life from there. So it's great that we're not focused on doing it consciously. We're doing it unconsciously. And when we feel it, it's just like, it's like a beautiful surprise. You know what I mean? I didn't expect this today. Do you know what I mean? So salute to you and, the people that, you're inspiring, throughout your journey.
We're like, literally, we're a family. I mean, a majority of my followers, which I'm so incredibly blessed about, is the fact that we actually grew up together. Like,
yeah,
I had a following like when I was like 19, and like they saw everything and we stuck together, and like they saw me grow as a person. They saw me fail. They saw me at my lowest. They saw me completely fuck up my business and then slowly bring it back up. And they see like, they just kind of they see everything. I've never been the type of person who's like, hey guys, this is my personal life, but there's also my personal. No, I can't like separate it too much, because like this is all I have. So what a lot of people see for the most part is what they get. And if I have no problem explaining down the line, like if things are too intense, it's like, I kind of got in a point where I think the first time I ghosted, it was like for 3 months, and everyone kind of freaked out. People were calling my friends and they're just like, hey, where's Marielle? Like, and when I came back, I was like, oh, like, hey, welcome back to that. And then the second time I ghosted, they were like, we'll still be here when you come back.
Yeah.
Like, take all the time you need. We love you. And I probably ghosted like really at least 4 times, and every single time it was always like, take your time, welcome back, like do your healing, like we support you no matter what. And that's just like a huge, like it means way more than they really think it does, where it's like, I think as artists, especially right now on social media, we're constantly under pressure to like put out content and entertain everyone. And if we don't, then it's like, okay, then you don't care enough. You're not passionate enough. You don't care about your career, because someone can take everything from you at literally just like a moment.
Yeah.
So like, we're super on guard. We're super like, and just to be able to hear from your audience, like, it's cool to like slow down. It's cool to take your time. It's cool to not give us great content all the time. Just do something for you. Do something you love, because we love you. It's like, it's like a blessing. It's love I never thought I would receive. It's love that I never thought I would be near. It's love that I thought I would never give.
Yeah.
And it's just kind of crazy that you get all of these feelings, all of these emotions over painting hip hop artists.
Yeah. No, like I said, it's amazing. Even like I'm going through like your tagged photos, and I'm just seeing people with your art, people with your art, people with your art. And it's just like great energy. It's great energy. Even though I need to tag you in something when I get the book. Trust me, I'll be part of this tag collection that I'm seeing right here. But it's just amazing to so I mean, let's go into like more on your artwork, like music. I'm seeing a lot of famous faces, icons, legends we've lost. What is it about, music, that connects with your art?
Mm, I mean, it's just there's just something about someone pouring out their soul
Mm.
that leads you to connect it to anyway. Like I used to say back in the day where people were like, why are you paying these artists? Where I said, oh, it's my way of like collabing with people that I would never collab with.
Mm.
But as I've grown and as I like became an artist, it's like I personally like I'm exhausted. I pour my soul onto the canvas. And then I think about it and I'm like, fuck, like these artists are pouring like everything they have. They're like emotion, their deepest, darkest, like they're pouring it in a 3-minute song
Yeah.
that we probably won't play after like a few weeks. But it's like, bro, like these people are really just they're giving themselves to you.
Yeah.
And it's like if you can't take the time and listen to the lyrics and like listen to the beats, it's just like it's rude.
Mm.
It's rude to not really digest everything. Like whether you like it, whether you're not, at least digest it because they took so much time and so much energy. And it's just like, I don't know, like it's just so intimate, I guess.
Yeah. No, I love it. And, everyone is different and carries a different, energy. Um, I see you with Westside Gunn as well. Like, and he's an amazing artist, and he recently opened a gallery as well. You know what I mean? So is he one of your
Yeah,
connectors?
yeah, I have a few there, and like I'm mad. I haven't told him I'm not coming yet, and I promised him I was coming, and he told me from the jump before he actually was supposed to have the opening back early January,
Yeah,
and we talked about it, and he told me you have to be there. And I go, yeah, yeah, I know. And he goes, no, you guys have to be there. Like, I'm like, okay, cool. Like, just let me know the dates. And I kept asking him, I'm like, hey, when's the day? Because we need to book our tickets because we don't have private jets.
yeah.
Hello. And then, like, he goes, oh, yeah, okay, I said it. It's March 6th. And this was like a few days before he announced it.
Yeah.
I look at the flights from like LA to Buffalo, bro. It was like $800.
Oh yeah, that's a bit crazy.
I was like, cool. I'm down to pay the $800, but then I have to pay for Jake's ticket.
Yeah.
That's $1,600. We have to pay for the Airbnb, and I'm like, I love you, West, but my spirit is there,
Yeah.
and he's one of my favorite people. Like I can't like, ever express like the love I have for him.
Mm.
He's like my brother. Like, it's funny because I had like an artist talk when I had an exhibition in Atlanta, and like, he wasn't as mainstream, wasn't that big like back then.
Yeah.
And like they were talking to me and they were like, oh, who's like the best artist you've worked with? And like without even thinking about it, I was like, Westside Gunn. I was like, he's one of the most genuine people. He knows art. He knows what like he knows exactly what he wants, and he has like a vision for it, and he scouts out who like fits that position.
Yeah.
And I just have always been blessed that he ever thought of me. Actually, like, do you know like the Westside Doom cover?
Mm-hmm.
I was actually supposed to do that.
Oh, sorry.
He had hit me up and he was like, you have to do it, and we're talking. But at the time, this was like, I, for lack of better words, I was losing my mind. I was crazy. I had a lot of good things going on.
Mm.
And I was trying to tell, like, I was talking to him and I was like, as much as I was excited to do it, I don't think I ever told him, like, I couldn't do it. Like, I wasn't, like, professional. I think I may have just ghosted on him. Yeah, I ghosted on him now that I think about it. And, oh my God. And then 2018 came and he DMs me and he's like, I know you said no before. He was like, I'm gonna need you to not do that again. First of all, he's like, look, he was like, my cousin, like he's about to put out his first album, and he was like, you're the person that has to do it. Like, you have to do it. And I'm like, okay. And then he was like, but it kind of needs to be done in like 3 days because we need to give it to Empire. And I'm like, okay. And then he's just like, please, like, just like do me this one thing. And then, you know, at the time, like, I was like, okay. I was like, we needed the money. I don't mind. I can just pull a few all-nighters, like, you know?
Yeah.
And like, he sends me a baby picture, and I was like, I'm painting a baby? And he's like, yeah. And then he's telling me the backstory between Machine Gun Black and this and that, and he was just like telling me like this is his, like, you know, it just would mean it would mean the world to him personally, but also he's like, in the music world, like, this shit's gonna make an impact.
Yeah.
And he used his famous word for the culture.
Yeah, that's it.
And yeah, you know, I did the Tana Talks 3 painting in like one night, or it was like 2 nights, and sent to Empire. And like, coincidentally, we were gonna go to Atlanta because I had to mail out the painting, and he was just like, no, like, just drop it off, like, I'll give you an address. So I thought we were gonna pull up like to a studio or something. And we pulled up to like his actual house.
Wow.
And it's just filled with toys, and I'm like, what the hell? Like, and he's just like, yeah, he was like, you want to see my stuff? And I was like, okay. Like, it was like we were already like, it was like there was no awkwardness, there was no fangirling. It was just like 2 friends, and it was family.
Yeah.
And then he ordered chicken wings, and I like went to go eat with his daughter. And I was telling Pootie, I'm like, I'm gonna paint you one day. And Pootie was like, stop it. And like, like, it's so cute. Like, him and Jake were smoking, and like, Wes was telling us about like the story of how he met his wife, and like, it's the cutest love story.
Wow.
And it was just like, it was home. Like, it felt like home. He treated us like we were family, and it felt like we were coming home.
Yeah.
And, you know, since then, he's been one of my favorite people. I probably vent to him and ask for advice from him more than anyone else. Any of my girlfriends. Like, it's just been like, it's been like the best thing in the world to see everyone else appreciate him and see him for what he is. And he deserves everything that's going on with him right now. Like, I'll be okay if he starts to act brand new and forgets who I am, but like, I'll be okay. But Jake says that, he's like, you know, like, Wes loves you more than anyone. And I'm just like, yeah, but it's okay. I'm like, if he wants to act brand new, it's okay. He deserves it.
It's like, what I love about it is just like, he's still how you met him. Do you know what I mean? Because anybody who is around Jay-Z may change quite quickly. Do you know what I mean?
And, you know, it's funny because like the first time he went to Jay-Z's house, he told Jay.
That's my dream, by the way. Go Jay-Z's house.
He, like, the first time he went to Jay-Z's house, I was actually the first one to know that he was gonna sign with him. I was the first person Wes called, and he called me in the car, and he's like, Mariella, and I was like, what? He's like, I just left Jay-Z's house. You know? And I was like, oh, cute. Like, I didn't know it was like a big deal. Like, I assumed like celebrities just know celebrities, you know? And he was like, I told him that he needs to have like an original Mariella Angela.
Yeah.
And da-da-da-da. And then I was just like, oh, thank you. And then he was just like, this was like, I want to say it's like March, April. And he was like, yeah, he was like, I think I'm gonna sign with them. And I was like, really? And he goes, yeah, this might be big. And then next thing I know, like, I didn't think it was a big secret. Next thing I know, like, the blogs were saying, like, and then it's August now, August, September, and everyone's like, Westside Gunn might sign with da-da-da-da-da. Yeah. And everyone's freaking out, and I'm like reading it, and I'm like, this happened in April. What are people talking about? Like, I don't get it.
Yeah.
But it's been great. Like,
Nah, that's awesome, man. And I love hearing stories like that. You know, what I mean, I'm happy, like, he's an avid supporter. Is his gallery open, or is it,
um,
the pandemic?
it's opening on March 6th.
Okay.
He's put so much thought and energy
Yeah, I
into it.
saw it
Like,
on
oh my god,
Harry's covered it. So I saw like the
is
front.
it?
Yeah, they covered it. It was like he's opening his gallery. And that's when I found out that, oh, I didn't know another rapper was into art, because they mention art in their raps, but he's literally invested in, doing a gallery. So it's
No,
amazing.
he has. I want to say at least 30 of my paintings,
Wow.
and it's kind of crazy. Like, I don't know. It's just like I love you support your friends,
Yeah.
but I'm like, no, but Wes really only fucks with what he fucks with, and I'm
Yeah.
just like, I'm kind of like, does he see something that I don't see? Because I know, but he loves it, and I'm so, I think like it drives me to like step up my game and all this shit. But um, he told me that all of his most sentimental pieces have been painted by me.
Mm.
So, I did his first mixtape cover. I did the Hitler Where's Her Mess, which is gonna be his last album, I think, but I don't think it really is. But that's what he says. It
Allegedly.
is. I know, like you're not gonna retire. I keep telling him, I'm like, you're not gonna retire, and he's just like, I'm gonna retire from the rap game. I'm like, stop. I'm
It's
like,
always something great to say, but we'll see, as rappers, we'll see. But you mentioned, like, Westside Gunn, your mom and Jake, who's popped up in this conversation.
mm,
What do all these people mean to you within your life, in your career?
um, Jake is my partner. He's my I say he's my partner. He's my soulmate. um, he is, I mean, I was pretty well known before I met him, and I was going through my mental health shit when he came along. But um, the first time I met Jake, it's the weirdest thing, and no one ever really believes me, but it's whatever.
Hmm.
Um, when you're in a mindset where it's like I was really ready to die, like I had no emotions toward it. I had a date that I was gonna do it. Everything was cleaned up. I had been stuck in this mindset for a really long time, and um, I never met Jake. He passed by, and they're like, "Oh, hey, this is Jake. This is my brother." And like for some reason, like everything like went away. Like there was calm. Like I felt like you know it was home, and my dumb ass, like the first thing I say, I'm like, "Hi, you're my soulmate." And I was like, "We're gonna get married one day," which we're not. We're not even like together.
Hmm.
But like he just looks at me and he's like, "All right." And since that day, we've been together 24/7. I freaking got his initials tatted on my finger. It's crazy. Um, but he he has been the biggest blessing. And like as for painting, like he I think a lot of people would think of him as like pretentious and like kind of cocky, because like at the time I was selling my paintings for maybe like $600, $500, and he was just like, no, this shit's worth 10,000. I was like, I'm not gonna charge 10,000. No one's gonna buy this for 10,000. He's like, no, these are $10,000. Blah
Yeah.
blah blah. And he goes, and he literally tells me, you have no say anymore because I'm CEO. And I'm like, oh,
CEO. Okay.
okay. Yeah.
Okay. CEO.
And you always say this shit, and then one day, like a client was coming to go pick up some paintings, and I was like, okay. And I was so afraid of Jake. So then I'm like looking at these paintings that I had priced at like 750, and I was like, that's $4,000. That one is 3,000. That one is 5. And the guy's like, okay. And I was just like, it's that easy? Like what? And then we sold the paintings, and then Jake tells me, He goes, you have to understand that you don't see your paintings the way other people see your paintings.
100%.
He's like, people are feeling stuff, people are like connecting to it, people like want this in their life. He was just like, you're pouring out shit from your life, and you know, it's just people can feel that. He goes, it doesn't matter who the subject is. Like, people aren't buying these because it's a rapper. If that was the case, the rappers would be buying it.
Yeah.
People want this in their home because they feel something, and you're able to do that, and it's a very rare thing. And I was just like, you know, me thinking like, okay, this only took me like 4 hours though, and like and then he's just like, no, like, he was like, you're special, like there's something special about you, and there's something special about your paintings, and people know that, and people want that, and you need to not deprive them of it.
Yeah.
And I don't know, I mean, like, he lifted me, you know, he, like, you know, he would say all that, but on the other end, he really would like be the biggest critique of my paintings, where I would think it's done, everyone else says it's done, and like, wow, it's so great, and Jake's like, no, this is a piece of shit, like, he goes, don't be lazy, because when there's shadows, I would just paint it black.
Yeah.
He said, don't be lazy. He goes, that's not black. He's like, there's an eye in there. He's just like, don't do that. He's like, don't take no shortcuts. Like, I'm just like, oh, I fucking hate him, but okay. And then, you know what, like, I'm done. I'm just like, this might have been the best thing to ever, like, it's just, you can't have so many yes men in your life.
100%, you can't at all.
But on the same end, you can't have so many negative people in your life.
Mm-hmm.
When someone truly cares about your like craft and passion, they're doing everything to challenge you and get you where you need to be. And sometimes it can be misconstrued as like them being toxic, or like that's the new term now, right? Toxic. No, it's kind of like he saw my potential. He knows what I'm able to do, and he sees that I'm not doing it because I'm comfortable being good. Good is selling. Good is comfortable. But to him, it's like, no, like, if you can get better and you're able to get better, you need to get better.
Yeah.
So he kind of like, he figured me out, basically. And he says that he figured me out from the day one, but he understands when, like, you know, when certain things bother me. He literally has pulled me away from a painting multiple times. Where I'm like, no, I'm in the zone. He goes, no, you're not. He's like, you need to rest. You need to calm down. Like, you're fucking it up. Like, he can read my brushstrokes, which is like the weirdest thing.
Wow.
We're just kind of like, our dynamic and our energy is kind of like deeper than like a boyfriend or girlfriend or a manager, client, business partners. Like, it's a weird, very rare thing. So I'm always just going to say soulmate because it just feels like the easiest word. But he's made me a better artist, person, businesswoman, just like all around. And I could never like, no, I think I could totally do this without him. And we always had this conversation lately, but I don't ever see myself doing it without him anymore.
Yeah. That's
like it would never be the same. Like, I could really still do this and still be as lucrative as I need to be, but it would never be the same anymore. A big part of why I love it is because I get to do this with my best friend. My best friend helps me become like a better painter, and it's just one of the most sacred things to me. So it's just kind of, I don't know.
Nah, I love that, man. Shout out to Jake, man, for being that energy for you. Do you know what I mean? Not many people have that. And your mom, you know, she was there with you when you said, Mom, this is it. You know what I mean? How has she been, you know, with you in this art journey of yours?
My mom has always, like, I used to call her Kris Jenner.
She's a boss, I can tell.
She it's kind of great because, you know, I did start painting out young, so I was doing like these group show events that were over 21, so it was like I would pull up with my parents. Like, my mom was my best friend, and she would do all the merch tables and like all the things. Like, it's so funny to my mom, who had known nothing about hip hop, after 2 shows, because like my second show scheme in 2016 was like 50 new paintings. And it was the funniest thing where my mom was like, that's ASAP Rocky, that's Chance the Rapper, that's Ty Dolla $ign, that, like, every single time, like, and I was like, bro.
Mom, how do you know these people? How? Tell me.
Like, coming from a place where she didn't know nothing, like, she knew nothing. And now she was like, oh my God, wait, actually, she knew about Tyler because I was in love with Tyler's, and like she would drive me all the way to Fairfax, which was like 30 miles away from where I lived, to go see him. And then when she finally ran into him, he was just like, oh, your daughter's so sweet. My mom's like, can I get a picture for Facebook? Because that's my mom, loves to Facebook everything. She hugs Tyler and she goes, you actually smell nice. Maybe you're a nice boy after all. And I was there like mortified, like, Mom, you did not just tell Tyler, the creator, maybe you're a nice boy after all.
Yeah.
Like, she leaves an impression. She definitely leaves an impression.
No, that's good, man. And you know, shout out to mom for that energy, yeah, and that Kris Jenner spirit, because Kris Jenner is a boss. You know what I mean? So that's amazing. Do you know what I mean? So 2021, we're here now in this new year. Hopefully, you know, the pandemic and everything, you know, calms down. You know, how are you, you know, taking the year? Like, are you just gonna take it easy, or you know, what are we looking this year for you?
Definitely a show. Like, I'm long overdue for a show. We were trying to have a pop-up last Thanksgiving. And like, we were already looking at the space, we are gonna pay for it. And I was like, oh, like, do you think people are actually gonna go? Because one, it's Thanksgiving, two, because of COVID. And they were just like, yeah, people will pop up, because like a lot of people have been waiting for a show. So I was just like, do we risk it? And then I was like, no, I don't think I want to do this. Like, it doesn't feel right to me. The fact that I'm questioning it, because I'm a very impulsive person.
Yeah.
I was like, the fact that I'm questioning it makes me know that it's not right. A week later, we got COVID. We had COVID throughout Thanksgiving, and I was like, bro, if this wasn't a sign.
Yeah.
And but we're pretty much set. Like, I've said I want to do my next art show with the deluxe version release of my book.
Yeah.
But we're kind of just gauging out LA, because we want to have it not only when it's safe, but when it's appropriate.
Yeah.
Like, I really, like, we're super like COVID police. Like, my mom and brother almost died during COVID. They were in the ICU, they were incubated. It was a very traumatic experience for our family. Everyone in our family got it.
Wow.
And I wasn't doing well. Jake wasn't doing well. And Jake, like, you know, most people think, oh, because they're unhealthy. No, Jake had the hardest time, and it broke my heart. And it's just like, to think people kind of like, you know, we're still in quarantine, but people are like, but we're not in quarantine anymore. I'm like, no, we still are. We're in a global pandemic. Nothing's changed.
Yeah.
So like, I do want to have an art show, but do I want it enough to like risk anyone's life? No.
Yeah.
Not even like if there's like only a 0.000%, 1% chance with the vaccines and everything. I need everything to be clear, everything to be safe, to just, because I would never be able to enjoy my art show, because I would really just be afraid that some like domino effect right now, like someone passing it to someone, and I don't know, we're figuring it out. We're just gonna see when it's appropriate time. If there isn't, I do still plan to release my book this year.
Yeah.
I think it's just kind of like it's a good, because like the paintings are gonna be from like 2014 to present, and I think like I've kind of I've gotten a grasp. I've gotten more of a grasp, and I've matured a lot since I did the first book. And I think I just kind of want to write like, what I've learned from like doing this for so long and what I've gotten from it, and just really let people see the progression of my paintings. Because like, I wasn't born with some unnatural talent. I really did this every single day for years, over and over and over and over again. I think I'm kind of a firm believer that you can do anything if you actually do it, and you're actually like your intention in doing it and like how you're approaching it, like it's possible. But I don't know.
No, I love it, man. And do let me know when, because I might have a dream and a how can I put it? A great draw. I'm drawn to LA. I'd put it that way. You know what I mean? So I definitely will be in the city, exploring, but definitely, we'll come and see the exhibition and the book launch. So I need to see
even
all these pieces. Listen.
even if you come here and there's no exhibition, you're welcome to my studio anytime.
Oh, for sure. Because we can
Like,
do. Listen, I'm a fan. Like I'm a massive fan. Do you know what I mean? I definitely want to see the work. Meet the people around you. Gather some great energy. And just maybe even get a custom. Because I might just say, look, I need something custom ASAP. Do you know what I mean? And get something going. Do you know what I mean?
yeah, for sure. Literally, you're always welcome. I'm always here. You know where to find me.
Yes, sir. Mariella, thank you so much. I think this has been a powerful podcast, and a powerful chat. I mean, it has been a long time coming, but I appreciate your time, energy, and belief within this, man. Thank you so much.
I appreciate you so much too. I really hope it was a good podcast, because I tend to just ramble.
Oh no,
But
great energy. Listen, I was listening and thinking, you're recording a podcast. I know you're listening deep, but this is you got to ask a question at the same time, ask questions at the same time. So, no, thank you for that, man. And I know it's going to be great listening to people's ears, because I've got a few people down in London who are fans of you as well. So, they're going to be listening in, and I'm definitely going to send it to them. Listen to this episode.
that's right.
You know what I
Make
mean?
it 2022 London. Mariella takes
Exactly. You know
London.
what I mean? And even when you're ready, like, to come down to London, the doors are open, for you to do a show here as well. So, I got you in that sense, so just let me know, and, we'll make it happen.
I appreciate you so much. I'm gonna tell that to my mom. I got one friend there, mom.
For
They're not
sure,
all
for sure.
strangers.
Yeah, no, so shout out to mom as well. So where can everybody find you? To new listeners who haven't, who don't know who you are, where can they find you? Where can they purchase your dope art, everything?
They can find me on my Instagram exclusively. It's at It's Marielle, ITSMARIEL, and they can buy stickers, posters, rugs if we still have them, on my website, mariellaangela.com.
Awesome. Mariella, thank you so much. Thank you so much for hopping on board on the podcast. You have an amazing day. Is it daytime there still?
It is.
Yeah.
I woke up at 8 and I said, I'm gonna get ready for this podcast. I'm gonna
Nah,
be good.
all good, all good. It's evening here, so I'm about to
Ooh,
have dinner, and get it popping. So all good. But thank you so much for coming on board.
thank you so much for having me.
All
This
right.
is fun.
Awesome. All right, you take care.
You too.
All right, bye.
Bye.